Yo, what's up, WrestleTube? It's Ronin Wrestling back with another video for you guys. Today, we're going to be looking back at the 2024 calendar year for WWE and giving awards out for Best Wrestler, Best PLE, Best Tag Team, Best Match, etc., etc. There's probably about 10 or so awards I'm going to be giving out. So without any further ado, let's just crack right into it. So I do have to admit, some of these categories are really hard to put together. So the way I did it, I ended up putting a men's and a woman's for each. So for instance, I have Wrestler of the Year. I have a men's and women's. And then Promo of the Year, I have men's and women's. And then when we get to matches, I just have the one match. And then pay-per-views obviously is gender neutral. So let's just get into it with maybe Tag Team of the Year here. So for men's division, Tag Team of the Year, this one was tough. I saw some people saying the Axiom and whatever that guy's other name is in NXT. I personally don't really watch NXT other than the pay-per-views or PLEs. So I'm not even really sure the other guy's name or the tag team name. So it'd be unfair of me to say them, even though I've seen multiple other people say them. For me, men's tag team of the year was Miz and R-Truth. This was from earlier in the year, but every time they were on screen, I was very entertained. The dynamic between the two of them was always really entertaining on the screen. R-Truth does a great job of filling his comedy role. And then the Miz could do comedy, but he's also kind of got that more serious wanting to win and wanted to be respected edge to him. So it was a good mix of characters, and that moment at WrestleMania when they got captured the titles was pretty cool. So for men's, I'm giving it to them. For women's, I'm giving it to Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. I probably should have given it to Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, but to be honest, I wasn't all that entertained by them. But Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, every week they're on TV. Just like the Miz and R-Truth, I was thoroughly entertained. So those are going to be the tag teams of the year, respectively, for me. And branching off the tag team of the year, let's just get into faction of the year. There wasn't really, I guess I could give it to Damage Control. I'll give it to Damage Control for the women's. There was not too many women's factions out there. So I kind of got to give it to Damage Control on this one. And then for the men's, I'm going to have to go with the New Bloodline. Old Bloodline was running stuff at the beginning of the year, but I think what Solo and the rest of the crew have done so far has been really, really good television. And it's created some of the biggest moments in wrestling this year. So yeah, I would say for sure the New Bloodline is the best faction of 2024. And speaking of Solo Sikoa, I'm going to move on to the most improved category, where I got Solo Sikoa head and shoulders above everyone else here. As far as the men's division goes, he had a phenomenal year. He went from this character that didn't talk at the beginning of the year to having some of the best mic skills in the entire WWE. So you got to hand it to him. He's done a great job with the role he's been given. I know it's similar to the Roman Reigns tribal chief stuff, but it's different enough where he has his own lane and his own character, and he's done a really good job with it. So yeah, I'm gonna say Solo Sikoa is most improved for the men's division. For the women's division, it's gonna be Nia Jax. She's just steadily been getting better and better ever since she came back 2 years ago, whatever it was. I used to not really like Nia back in the day. Her first go around in WWE was pretty bad for me. But times change, people change, and obviously she's been putting in the work. Her character's really interesting. Her in-ring stuff has been really good too. Can't take that away from her. So most improved for the woman is going to be Nia Jax. Next, let's just change pace a little bit here from individual awards to PLE, Best PLE of the Year award. This one was easy, but also hard. I wanted to give it to Backlash France. That was some of the most fun I've had watching wrestling in my life, especially because of that crowd. But I had to give it to WrestleMania XL, aka WrestleMania 40. WrestleMania 40 was probably a top 5 WrestleMania of all time, so to not put it on this list would be an absolute disgrace, especially when you have some of the best matches of the year from WWE on that show, like Cody Rhodes and Roman, and Bayley and Io Sky, Gunther and Sami Zayn. I mentioned that ladder match earlier on. That was pretty entertaining. Ladder matches usually are. It had guest spots that were really cool. Just a really fun event, and that's what wrestling should be. It should be fun for the audience. It should be fun for the people at home watching. It's a fun thing to watch. So when it's fun, it's like cream of the crop. So WrestleMania 40 at the top of the list for PLE of the year. And piggybacking right off of WrestleMania 40 being PLE of the year, I'm gonna go ahead and do match of the year. I do have a video out with my favorite matches from 2024. So if you've seen that, this is going to be no surprise to you, but it's Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes 2 at WrestleMania 40. Just so entertaining. Probably the most fun I've had watching a wrestling match in my whole life. The beginning part, half of it, is just a straight up wrestling match between the two of them. Very well done wrestling match, I might add. These guys have really good chemistry in the ring, so they didn't even need all those like huge spots that ended up happening, but those are really what made the match. So we get, run-ins from the Usos and Solo Sikoa and John Cena, and it kind of just keeps building and building until finally we get The Rock, and then hear that dong, and it's The Undertaker, the locker room sheriff, as you will, coming to set things right. So by far my favorite WWE match. Little story here. I don't really watch like AEW all that much. I know they had some really good matches. That's why like this whole list here is just WWE strictly. I know AEW did have some really good matches, and I usually do watch the pay-per-views, but I don't feel like I'm qualified to talk about those. Therefore, I'm not going to put any AEW stuff on here. So just strictly WWE, and it was definitely the best WWE match of the year. Next up, let's go with Rookie of the Year. We've had some really good rookie years from Jacob Fatu, and Lyra Valkyria's had a good one, but these two other people have far surpassed these other two. Braun Breaker for the men's and Tiffany Stratton for the women's, both of which have kind of came in together. Not similar accolades, because Braun Breaker's won the IC title twice, but Tiffany Stratton does have that Money in the Bank briefcase. So they've both held something of value within the WWE, and they're weekly commodities on television. It's hard to put anyone else in this spot of Rookie of the Year besides these two. In the comments, if you guys have any other disagreements or agreements with me, let me know. For all these lists, not just Rookie of the Year here. Rookie of the Year was definitely the toughest one for me to figure out, though, because there have been some really good rookie years from some of the superstars of WWE. So, yeah. Braun Breaker and Tiffany Stratton are your 2024 Rookie of the Years. So the next category up is going to be Return of the Year. This is going to feel kind of weird, but I gave The Rock the nod for this one. It feels like it happened like 3 years ago, but The Rock returning when Cody Rhodes gave up his spot to him for WrestleMania was massive. Obviously, it ended up leading to some of the best WWE television we've ever seen. So The Rock coming back, that whole return was really, really cool as far as the men's division goes. And then as far as the women's go, there wasn't any like big, this person's been gone for a couple years and now they're back returns. It was kind of like people coming off of injury coming back and returning, which is still hype and still really exciting moment, but not quite to the same degree. So it was a little harder to choose, but I ended up going with Rhea Ripley. She returned on like a Raw in like the middle of the summer. Liv Morgan was like in the ring, and then music hits. I know I wasn't expecting it. when it happened, it was a pretty cool moment and one that I think gives Rhea the nod for return of the year as far as the women's division goes. So yeah, The Rock and Rhea are the 2 nominations for return of the year. All right, guys, we got 3 more categories to go, one of which being feud of the year. This one was easy for the men's division. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre absolutely blew everybody out of the water on this one. If they didn't do it, it probably would have been like maybe Cody and The Rock / Roman, Cody and Bloodline, because that was obviously really good. But as far as like a one-on-one feud goes, you really can't get much better than Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. The hatred that these guys have for each other is just palpable. You could just see it on the screen that they genuinely do not like each other. Same with Seth Rollins and CM Punk. You could see they clearly do not like each other. So when they actually go to war and have these battles, it's quite special to watch. The promos leading up to the trilogy of matches was so good. So good. And then obviously we got the matches themselves, which got better and better and better as the time went on, capping off with that amazing Hell in a Cell match that's going to be remembered for years and years to come. So as far as the men's go, easy pick for me, Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk. As far as the women's goes, I'm going to have to give it to Liv and Rhea. I know it's kind of been dragging out at this point, but this was like the thing of the summer. If we're able to remember back that far, this was the thing that was really carrying Raw. The whole Liv Morgan taking Dominic Mysterio, and then Rhea returns, best return of the year for a woman. And then they've been going at it since. Always been about the championship. Now it seems to be a little bit more personal. It was always personal, but a little bit more so like, I don't need that championship back. I kind of just want to whoop your ass kind of thing from Rhea. Whereas at the beginning, it was just, I'm here to claim my championship back, and this is how I'm going to do it. And now it's like a genuine, I want to end your career kind of situation. So really good feud. Probably one of the better women's feuds of the past like couple years. I feel like WWE's got to put more time into these storylines. If they gave the women as much time as they did the men for some of these stories to develop and some of these like promo battles and stuff, I think like they could have been by far the best rivalry of the year. But unfortunately, that's just not how the cookie's crumbling right now. Maybe in the future, but yeah, those are going to be the 2 feuds of the year for me. And then kind of piggybacking off of the feuds of the year, we got promo of the year. This isn't just one single promo. It's just like your promo skills throughout the entire year. And nobody displayed that better than Drew McIntyre throughout the year. Coming into the year, no one really thought of Drew as this promo guy. He's always kind of just been that like ass-kicking big dude that could throw down, and he wrestles really well, and he's passionate, but his promos were never like anything that really sold a program more than like the match itself would. But he definitely leveled up this year, and I'm excited to see what happens in 2025, because Drew McIntyre might not be wrestler of the year for me here, but he was damn near close. Let me tell you that. He was a runner-up for that award for me, which is coming up next here. But yeah, best promo by far in the WWE right now. If Roman Reigns was in there enough, or if CM Punk didn't get outshined by Drew McIntyre, I think those 2 would have been good shouts as well. But Roman Reigns wasn't there as much as he hasn't been for years really at this point. And CM Punk kind of got, like I said, outshined by Drew McIntyre. So easy Drew McIntyre pick for me here. And then for the women's, this is going to be kind of an odd one because she hasn't been on TV in 6 to 7, 8 months. I don't even know at this point, but Becky Lynch, I think, is by far the best talker in the women's division. And for me to just like give this award to like Liv Morgan just because she's been on TV more is not fair. So Becky Lynch, promo of the year for the women's division. She gets me inspired to just like go and do the thing whenever she's talking, and she talks about her family a lot, which like obviously might hit home to some people more than others, but for me it definitely hits home. And just like, I don't know, her delivery and her passion in her promos is really quite unmatched throughout the whole entire WWE roster. So had to give her the shout on here. So Drew McIntyre, Becky Lynch for promo of the year. And finally, what we've all been waiting for here, superstar of the year. This one, like I said with the Drew McIntyre thing I was just talking about, was hard to determine. Drew McIntyre was my runner-up for the men's division, and for the women's division, my runner-up was Rhea Ripley. But I think Cody Rhodes and Liv Morgan, respectively, have earned those spots. And I know they're both champions, and they both won at Crown Jewel, so it boosts them up in a sort of way. But really, they have been what TV has revolved around on Raw and SmackDown, respectively. So it's pretty hard not to give it to them. Cody Rhodes, obviously, he's finished his story. He won the Royal Rumble, won the championship, won Crown Jewel championship. He's defended it a bunch of times, all successfully. Really without much of a hiccup either. He's kind of just been running through his opponents. So I think that was a pretty easy one. He's wrestled like the most matches on the roster, most wins. He does all like the Make-A-Wish and all the charity stuff. So got to give Cody Rhodes Wrestler of the Year here. And then same with Liv Morgan, honestly. She's always wrestling. Unlike Rhea, like, I know she was injured, but Rhea had her first match on television in like a year, which was crazy to me. So that means she's probably only fought like, what, maximum 15 times this year, and like including house shows. Like there's no way I could possibly give it to Rhea when Liv has been holding it down for the whole year like that. Because she really has, and she's improved a lot. I used to not really even enjoy her promos that much, but I think she's gotten a lot better. Her in-ring skills are really good. She's great at like selling and all that stuff, and she's good at playing her character, which is the most important thing in wrestling, and WWE especially, is playing that character and playing it well. And she really does. So yeah, those are going to be the wrestlers of the year for me in WWE. All right, guys, that's going to be a wrap on today's video. I hope you enjoyed the award ceremony of sorts here in my shed. Quite a fancy occasion here, obviously. So, yeah, if you guys have any disagreements or agreements, leave them in the comments. Leave a like and subscribe if you're liking what I'm putting out here. I'm going to try to get a schedule going, maybe of 2 to 3 uploads a week. Kind of been slacking this past week because of Christmas and all that, so I'm definitely gonna bring it back up and try to get those numbers up for you guys. So yeah, enjoy your holiday season. Happy New Year if I don't get a video out by then, and yeah, have a great freaking day, guys.